Hi guys, so today I wanted to do a book recommendation video. So before I jump in with that, I just wanted to point out that I have moved. That's why the background is different in this video. This will be my background for the next 6 months at least. I finally have a place to live a bit more permanently, so that's great. Today I wanted to do a book recommendation because I wasn't quite ready to do a book review just yet. I haven't done a book review in a really long time now. I'm just getting back into making videos and it can be a bit daunting to do a book review. And the book I wanted to discuss is Peter and Alice by John Logan. So originally, this play premiered in 2013 at the Noel Coward Theatre and it starred Judi Dench and Ben Whishaw. I can just imagine this would have been an amazing play to see in person because just reading it has been such an interesting and amazing experience. So this play is about the people who inspired Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan. So on the one hand, we have Alice Liddell Hargraves, who inspired Lewis Carroll to create Alice in Wonderland, and we have Peter Llewellyn Davies, who was one of the inspirations for Peter Pan. This play is about a meeting, a real meeting that happened between Alice and Peter in 1932. So at this point, Alice was quite old, and Peter Llewellyn Davies was a middle-aged man, I think. So this meeting is something we don't really know much about. We just know that they met at a Lewis Carroll exhibit, and they must have discussed something. We don't know what they discussed, however, this play is an exploration of what they might have discussed, and it looks at themes that were prevalent in each of their lives, themes including how it was to grow up when they inspired a character who never grew up, how people reacted to the fact that they were the inspiration for their childhood, favorite characters, how people reacted to the fact that Alice and Peter were just normal people who did grow old and eventually died just like everyone else. It also looked at their relationships with the men that really shaped their lives by immortalizing them as characters that were so important in children's literature. I think that part was one of the most interesting parts for me, just to see how Lewis Carroll was as a person, how J.M. Barrie was, the relationships they had with these children who inspired them creatively. So a lot of what is discussed in this play is obviously pure speculation. We don't actually know what they discussed together that day. However, there are a lot of things that are pulled from reality. A lot of events that are discussed in this play really did happen, and it wouldn't be too hard to imagine that the emotions expressed by the characters in this play would have been emotions that could have been expressed by real life Peter and Alice. This is one of those plays that you will really fly through, and the writing is beautiful, and the elements they bring in, like the elements of kind of magical realism where they bring in Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland to have discussions with Peter Llewellyn Davies and Alice Liddell Hargraves, is just really interesting, and the way it was done was just really captivating for me. And I just found this play so heartbreaking because of what happens to these two people in their lives. So one thing I wanted to bring up is that as a child, I was never a big fan of Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland. I watched movies adapted from the stories, but I never read either story as a child, so I don't have an emotional connection the way maybe some people have to these characters. So I was worried that that would affect my reading experience, and I'm sure that other people feel that way too. It's really something I thought of before reading this play, whether I should read it, because I don't have that connection to either characters, and I thought maybe I wouldn't understand what they were discussing or things would fly over my head, but really, it's not the case. Even if you've never even heard of Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland, you can read this play and still be touched. I'm pretty sure that if you read this play, you'll want to learn about the characters. You'll want to learn about the history behind those, fictional characters and the people that inspired those characters. Because after finishing this play, after crying a little bit, I did go and do a little bit of research, and I thought it was really fascinating. So I would really recommend that you pick up this play even if you don't love Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland. It's a touching play, it's beautifully written, the topics discussed, I think, are quite important topics, and if anything, it's a really quick play to get through. So I really hope you guys do pick this up. If you have read it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know a couple of people on BookTube have read it, and I would love to discuss it with someone else. I'm hoping to reread it maybe in 2017, so if you're interested in doing that, we can do a buddy read. So yeah, just leave me a comment down below letting me know how you feel about this play. And also, I'd be really interested to know if you have a history with Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland, how it shaped your childhood, because I really don't, and sometimes I wish I did. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to do more book reviews and book recommendations in the coming months. I just need to get back into the swing of things, basically. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you soon.